Hello everyone and welcome into Batman F2 patch 2.3 from 2008. It's going to be gold, old but gold, and our players are going to be PoW and his opponent's going to be AoW TrojanEagle. So as you can see, it's going to be from the old replay. It's really old replay, like 11 years old, but I assume that if we are not getting a new good replays to cast, we got to get back and watch the old one. And I guess that's not the worst thing to do, consider the players that we got here. Clever, Batman F2 expert, really known, well-known player. And also his opponent, let's be honest, one of the best, I guess, AoW player that was ever here, except for Turbo. So Mordor against Isengard, really good matchup back in the days to play. Forza of Isen II map that hasn't been changed since, or even never. So I zoom out this map also to let this game be watchable. 1.3 possessed the widescreen ability, but it wasn't that wide as you like to see it. At least for now. We got the Work Riders first out of Clever, after 4 furnaces, and we saw another building which is the Uruk pit for him as well. On the other side, the double Orc pit, after 2 slaughterhouses, first slaughterhouse in the back. So nothing out of the ordinary. Even today we are doing almost the same thing, except for the PowerPoints maybe, because PowerPoint's path is Ultra. About 3 years ago it was Ultra a little bit for Isengard, so we got Palantir first for Clever, and for Trojan it's going to be Tenderland to cover the spot and get to know what his opponent is playing, or if it was random. It seems that only Trojan choose random and Clever choose the Isengard to play with. We got Work Riders and Uruk-hais first out of Clever, and Trojan get his orcs and move towards the middle, the left and the right side. Pretty standard build order, pretty standard thing to do as a Mordor player at the beginning of the game. 400 command points for him, and 400 command points also for Clever, so it means that they got 4 farms, 4 slaughterhouses, 4 furnaces for each player. Work Riders first for Clever, and as I said, Uruk-hais as well. But nothing out of the ordinary. Even now we are doing such a build orders as Clever, creating 4 furnaces, then Uruk pit and Workler, in order to kill some infantry units, those orcs or goblin warriors, as fast as possible and get your economy running. So as we can see, Clever check out the spots, he checked the top side, he find out orc warriors, he finds out through the middle another orc battalion, and he's free to do as he would like to do. I mean, this furnace is not going down. As you can see, orcs back in the days deals a little bit more damage, but it's only because those furnaces were not that tough as they are now. We get changing in scaling also. For example, how ability is a little bit different for Work Riders also, but nonetheless 2.3 wasn't that bad at all. If we are comparing to any kind of patch, it's not like also that's not getting that much rework back in the days from 2.02, to be honest. So there were only few changes that they got here. Another Work Rider battalion, and let's check Mordor base at the moment. As we can see, Heraldim's on the way. Trojan knew what he's doing. You're not getting to AoW back in the days for nothing. Also, you are not getting into the PoW for nothing as well, so you get to know what you're doing. Really good old days when you were just a kid. You get only to study some things and play your game wherever you want, actually. Yeah, nostalgia thing, to be honest. And we got more orcs. The Sterlings are going to creep. I actually don't remember how many treasures, how many resources out of treasures those Work Riders will get, so we'll see. Because it's kind of interesting. Treasure has been altered a couple of times. I think it's going to be 450, but I don't think so for sure. It's 300 at the moment in 1.09. So it was really different back in the days. And it seems that Warclare will be left over. But as you can see, none of those players doing significant amount of damage. They are rather standing in base, trying to survive rather than dealing damage. Okay, let's check on the creep actually. I know the Work Riders are here dealing some kind of damage, and let's check the treasures. There are 3 treasures, like at the moment it's a little bit more, like 450, something around that, so it's we're used to. 600 command points also for Mordor player. As for the Isengard, only 500, but he's going for another Uruk pit. And that's pretty important to spam units even now against Mordor, in order to be prepared against those orcs and stuff like that, and be able to kill them fairly quickly. More and more orcs on the battlefield. Chasing crossbows is not going to be that effective. And Isengard was able to creep the left side also. He received pikes on level 2, and of course those treasures, as we established, it's going to be 450 resources out of the Warclare around this match. And as we can see, both the players getting more and more power points. And Sterlings will be killed over there. As we can see, they are not even receiving level 2. So they are easy target for pikes of Isengard, and almost level 3 for those pikes. They were really tough back in the days. And we got Nazgul on the battlefield. First Nazgul on the battlefield, so TrojanEagle decided to go for this hero because of lots of Uruk-hais that appear on the map. And Warg Riders also, plus crossbones. There are not lots of packs that Clever creates. Oh, Warg Riders killing those Orc Archers. This is decent. This is really decent. Orc Archer's cost is still like 300, so it's not that cheap. Warg Rider Battalion been catched and killed by a Sterling, so that's the also really good pickup over there. And we may see the micro of the medal, creep of the medal by the Mordor player, as he may go back and deal some damage towards those Warg Riders, but in the end he will definitely creep the Warclare or try to establish some kind of camp over there. As we can see, he's not transitioned towards anything yet, because he may don't have enough money. As we can see, 500 command points but only 7 power points. He's not even on tier 2 power points. As for the Isengard, he got everything that he needs. He only got to spam, get himself a heroes, 10 power points at the moment for him. And I guess this is the point that you will see the no, it's going to be Whiteman of Dawnland. I thought that it's going to be different in path of power points, but it's not yet here. We got lots of crossbones out of the Isengard, just to be protected against some Sterlings and also the orcs. So there are not lots of structures that going down. This structure may go down or be cancelled by the Isengard player. And both the players doing fairly well for themselves, especially establishing above average amount of command points in this round of time. And as we can see, we got transition out of Mordor at the moment. He's almost here to get 10 power points. He needs something more against those crossbones, so he decided to go for Tavern and Corsairs later on. And Clever decided to summon his Wiseman down. He got a bunch of units over here on the middle, lots of crossbones, couple of pikemans, and he decided to summon those Wisemen on order to deal more damage and distract this Nazgul that it's really annoying for him. Also clear up the base. And as for the ice for the Mordor, we got Tenderland and Industry ready here. We got also Fellbeast, so this is why transition takes so long. He decided to go for Fellbeast. At the moment used first Industry on the structure, killing a bunch of crossbones, and this is really well done over here. Screech will be used in order to force those units to get away, so at least level 3 for this flying beast is here. Lots of pikes been killed. Level 2 Haradim Palace, so we will see Sterlings, or rather Haradim Archers and Sterlings later on. There's still a bunch of orcs. Another Nazgul on the battlefield from Trojan also. And as we can see, he is able to push back his Isengard opponent. As for the Isengard, he got himself more command points at the moment. He will be on 1k command points, and He got himself a lures at this point of the game. He's going to spam more units, as we can see, but he's now waiting for something. Maybe he may go for units, or he's waiting to summon Saruman in order to deal some kind of damage. We'll see later on what he decided to do. He got also 10 power points, which he's going to use for the Tenderland himself, because he is aware of the situation. He knew that his opponent got already Tenderland, and he can just cover it wherever he wants in order to get everything for himself. First Nazgul is going down. Lures is not leveling up. Those are those pikes that are leveling up. Another 2 Nazguls decided to get away. And we got still Felbeast running around. So this is kind of good. We don't have Doomday Spear on the fortress for some reason. If you're going for heroes even back in the days, you definitely should have it. Warg Riders will definitely crush those Haradi Marchers with ease. There is no question asked. And lures still nothing, no experience, nothing else, but we got more and more units for the Isengard, as it should be done, in order to push back your Mordor opponent. We got first battalion of Corsairs on the battlefield, another Haradi Palace in order to spam at the same time pikes and Haradi Marchers, and more orcs just to be annoying with those kind of units. Level 5 on the Felbeasts, it's only getting himself more health and the damage that he can deal, but it's really good to have a Felbeast just in order to, as well as orcs, being annoying towards your opponent, being very hard to catch, very hard to kill, and also deal some damage towards the furnaces. 10 power points for the Mordor player at the moment as well. He is on the offensive side, he's dealing damage, he's moving forward with orcs. He's getting more and more units from his production buildings, and he got everything under control, at least for now. Isengard possessed more power points though. He got 5 power points already, 6 power points, Tenderland here for 10 power points, and Whitesman of Dunland for 10 power points. So he's doing fairly decent for himself, also getting lures to level 2, so Carnage is available, Warg Rider is still alive, and Corsairs here, they're here, they will be killed. The first battalion of Corsairs is going to be killed. Lots of pikes and Urukhais, they will be killed by Felbeast. Felbeast will level up eventually, but it's not what Isengard is looking for actually. He doesn't really care that much about the Felbeast and the other heroes at the moment, it seems. As he is getting himself his own Saruman at the moment, maybe with Fireball he's going to work towards this Felbeast, but without it and without any additional upgrades for the crossbones, which is fire arrows, it's not really cost efficient to even deal with this Felbeast at the moment. As we can see, he's on level 6, he can use Screech. This Nazgul is so low in health, he got to retreat, but he will not be able to do it. He was catch and killed, and I think the Felbeast may be in really big danger. Actually, it's going to be killed. Yes, it should be killed. Yes, it's been sniped and killed. Really unfortunate out of Trojan. He could get away easily, but he wasn't able to do it in time. But there are still two Nazguls on the battlefield. Still, Trojan is on the offensives. He's dealing damage. He's keeping Clever on a Clever side of the map. So it's really good for him. He got also barrage, so he decided to just move forward with power points to tier 3 already, skipping anything in between. And he's getting himself more and more units. As we can see, only 1 tavern, which is really weird at the moment. At the moment you're not going for only 1 tavern, at least get at least 3 in order to be safe. He got 1k command points also in industry, so it's definitely worth trying. And making a complete transition from orcs to Corsairs is a really good pick. Now, as we can see, Wizard Blast from Saruman, he's got his level 2.5 at the moment, so Fireball is available for Clever Saruman. As for the Lures should be somewhere over here. Lures is on level 4, so he got Cripple ability, he can cripple one of those Nazguls, and it may actually happen. Yes, it's happened, and Trojan will lost one of his Nazguls for sure. There is no question about it. Let's take a look into another Nazgul. He's going to be heavily damaged. He doesn't have even level 2, so there is no Dread Visage for him at the moment. And I think it's time for Isengard player Clever to go on the offensive at the moment for the first time in a long time. He may go to the offensive. He got Whitesman of Dunland. He got this Saruman at the moment. Oh, and he will cover this land for sure. And rid of those filthy orcs and Starlings with Wizard Blast. So that was really good on his side, and he got map control at the moment, at least through the middle. Of course, he got to deal with those Corsairs, and Lurs is trying to get into this Nazgul. Nazgul is only on level 1, so he cannot have Dread Visage at all. It's really hard for him to deal any kind of damage to this kind of army that Isengard possessed at the moment. More and more units on the side. There is no Felbeast. There is Mumakil Pit though, so maybe we'll see some Mumakils out of Trojan. And there we go. I guess barrage menus, yes, barrage menus onto the fortress of Clever, dealing not that much damage, destroying not that much buildings, so Clever is safe actually, and he was able to cripple the Nazgul and actually kill it with those Urukhais, I guess. There is no question asked. Maybe Saruman will get the last hit, not really, but it was close enough. Work Riders will get away at the moment. Lurs will not level up that much as you like him to do. But at this point, Isengard is in really good position. We got Mumakil on the battlefield. Mumakil is back in the day with the charge attack way much stronger than they are now. He can definitely charge attack all of those units and kill them at once. So we'll see if it's going to happen. On the side, on the top side, slaughterhouses will be lost. I guess those kind of Work Riders will deal with them with ease. So I don't think so that even Clever is taking initiative over here. Felbeast back on the battlefield on level 6. Really important also because Clever don't have lots of crossbones on the battlefield. Although he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, like 6 battalions, but they're not fully healthed. Lurs is flying. There is also the spread like a Mumakil, so it may force Clever to play smart over here and leave this place at once. He got the Thunderland, so those units are tougher on the Thunderland. They're not dealing more damage. And as you can see, Mumakil is not charging. Mumakil is just moving. He is taking heavy damage from the back, from those crossbones also. And it's not that great of the deal. Fireball been used and deals a really decent amount of damage towards the Felbeast. Although Clever is not able to finish him off. Whitesman of Dunland been summoned also, and Vulture in order to deal damage, so those units will not be here. Welcome, at least for now. Another Mumakil on the battlefield, 15 power points for the Mordor player. As for his opponents, he got only 6 power points, but we got Vulture on the battlefield. Tier 3 power point first, tier 3 power point that Clever decided to go for. On the side, Corsair is dealing damage with a couple of orcs, but it's not enough. Then Felbeast low on health, got to retreat. No more Mumakils, it seems. Maybe Trojan doesn't have resources. No, he doesn't have... Oh, it's actually Isengard. No, he doesn't have resources. He got 1k command point, but it's only because those slaughterhouses are on level 3. Another Mumakil moving forward towards the middle. Felbeast is kind of scared because he's halfway gone, and we know that Fireball can deal lots of damage, to be honest. And Mumakil is trying to trample. He's not using charge attack. With charge attack he got almost like immunity back in the day, so charge attack was really good, especially against heroes, especially against something like Saruman, but it's already too late and it's been killed from the back, almost like. So Mumakil is not the greatest usage. If we are talking about Trojan wasn't able to utilize them that well, at least in this game, because as I said, it was really good player back in the days. And this replay was an expert replay also. Clever posted it back in the days. So I don't think so it was just one-sided. As we can see, Trojan is still dealing damage, still got a couple of power points, still got 1k command points for himself, but he's losing ground, and Saruman is gaining ground using the Fireball and Wizard Blast wherever he wants. This Felbeast is on level 7, dealing damage towards Work Riders, trying to force them back. But even if they will land on the Thunderland, they will be covered by those crossbones and Lurs on level 5 at the moment, so he got like 50% of damage more. So it's not that easy. And Warg Riders are doing enough damage towards crossbows and archers, even orcs, I mean, but got to retreat as fast as possible. Felbeast on level 7 still dealing damage. Maybe we'll take care about this furnace on level 1, but he's dealing enough damage at the moment, and in order to take down the furnace on level 1 he can only go for like 3 hits at the moment. It was rather common back in the days. Felbeasts were a little bit tougher, as you can see in 1.00 most of the time. 1.00 Felbeast was and is out of charge actually. You can take down the fortress of your opponent on level 1, which in those patches is completely not possible, but he's still dealing decent amount of damage, and furnaces are not the toughest structures in the game. Another Felbeast on the battlefield in order to just keep the opponent behind. I don't know why Doomday Spear were not bought by the Mordor player actually, to make those heroes at least cheaper for 10%, it's completely enough. And you could buy something else from this price. We got Balrog on, we got crippled Nazgul, Felbeast get Firebolt at the moment, but Screech been used, but there are 2 more crossbow battalions, and Dreadvisage is still on the air, so that's at least good, but there are lots of crossbows and he got to retreat with at least 1 Nazgul. Balrog been summoned and he may deal a really decent amount of damage, destroying lots of structures, and here we go. Yeah, a couple of barracks went down, furnace on level 3 also. Even the work pet or workler over here, armory may go down, and I don't know if he should go for the fortress. He's dealing decent amount of damage, but definitely take rid of the structures. It's more beneficial in the long run, and I think this is what Mordor player is trying to do. Utilize Balrog as best as possible. Use industry once again. There is an armor fortress, so you cannot destroy it for sure. How about Isengard? Isengard is using the Dragon Strike in order to deal a significant amount of damage, and actually, let's be honest with you, this Balrog could be even stuck here. If Drake's stuck here near the fortress, he can destroy the fortress immediately. It's even happened in this version from time to time. So entire base been completely destroyed by the Balrog, and he will be able to take down this furnace also. And as we can see, Isengard is trying to recreate everything that he possessed already, just because you don't want to have units die that easily. As we can see, Mordor get himself an armor fortress after the breath of Drake over there, and we got Wormtongue on level 4 at the moment on the battlefield. So game is not, to be honest, established yet. Or getting to normal, because both the players got to re-establish themselves, especially Mordor, I got to be honest, because even if he keeps his fortress, he got to build some structures in order to get more stuff on the battlefield, that's for sure. We got Wormtongue on the battlefield on level 5 at the moment, and Isengard is trying to rebuild himself. Armory is coming back to life, and as we can see, almost 15 power points for Mordor at the moment, but he is in defense. He got to defend himself against this kind of army, Saruman Lures, and a couple of packs on level 5. Almost will utilize Felbeasts actually, in order to catch all those leftover Uruk-hais, and we got 2 Uruk-pits on the battlefield, and on the middle a couple of towers in order to save those Uruk-pits from being destroyed by the Felbeasts. Wormtongue and this army is going to take it in. At the moment it's not really that important. We got level 3 for the Felbeast. He's not even like punching this furnace, but it's a mess over there. There were some wrong things about 2.03. Escape mode been used by Wormtongue, and those Felbeasts will deal damage towards furnaces. More and more furnaces went down. Mordor got to do something in order to get himself lots of power points and do something significant in order to get back in this game. Some crossbones will be taken down. They're on level 5 at least. but against Saruman and those crossbones, those felbeasts got to get away for sure. Don't fight them if you don't want to, if you don't need to. There is Saruman with some Uruk-hais, lots of units on the battlefield. Not really, although as we can see, Clever got only 700 command points at the moment, and it's Mordor who got 1k command points, but as I said, it's only because of those furnaces over here, or rather slaughterhouses on level 3. He's trying to attack his opponent. It's not going to be effective, to be honest, but Barrage may be. Barrage taking care of all those units, taking care of the structure as well. Crossbones left with Saruman, with lures, to be honest, because they've been chasing those two felbeasts. They're trying to establish themselves. Now the attack on the left side by the Mordor player. Let's check his command of power points. He got 8 power points, and he's not going for Sauron or anything like that. We got also Witch King on the battlefield at the moment, so Doomday Spear, they could be really good. This fortress upgrade could be really good for Mordor, but he decided to not do it. And as we can see, Builder may go down over here, but Builders are really tough in 2.0. Free Builder went down. Wizard Blast been used by Saruman, trying to save him, not really effectively. And Witch King, 3 felbeasts on the battlefield from Trojan. And also, as we can see, he get the Entanged Legions, so Cave Trolls will be taken under this allegiance in order to deal some kind of damage. We'll see how good it's going to get. Another builder almost catch and killed. He was forced to create a wall hub. Although Felbeasts can deal damage towards wall hub, I guess the wall hubs or Felbeasts, but it seems that he doesn't want to. He wants this structure to finish. Felbeast still running on and still dealing damage. And it's actually disable Isengard Mordor from moving out from the base, which is really good on the side of Mordor. Those 3 Felbeasts and this amount of trolls that he might go for at the moment, it's going to enable him to re-establish his base, his own base, and we can see more slaughterhouses will appear here. Also Gorgoroth's Spire. And this wall hub will be finished, I guess. Clever is not paying attention. He will let this wall hub to finish as well, as he's chasing those 2 Nazguls, those 3 Nazguls, to be honest, those Felbeasts. And as we can see, Corsair is doing lots of damage towards the furnaces. Furnaces, really squishy structures, to be honest, nothing to be weird about. And he's still dealing damage towards the furnaces, still doing his job, getting more and more trolls. Work Riders, they will be catched by Nazguls for sure. And look at the damage they deal. There is some Saruman, but even with the Saruman, couple hits and he's low on health. He may use, of course, his Saruman Fireball spell, but it's not going to kill any of those Nazguls at the moment. Any of those Felbeasts will be killed. Industry used on the building of Mordor at the moment, and I guess those trolls will do something if they will not be discovered by the Isengard player. Venom Ward's been used on the units also. Mordor is doing the job over there, but still it's Isengard who got lots of power points that he can use every time. It's only a matter of time, and I guess Isengard got to move out at this point, but he cannot do it. There are lots of units that are just pushing him over and over and over, and those Felbeasts are playing around, and Builder been killed, wall hub been created. Those furnaces are so squishy that, as we can see, yeah, a couple of hits and they're gone. And that's a ban. Somewhere I heard summon. Oh my god, Witch King may be killed over here. Where is the fireball? There we go, fireball. And it's over. Witch King been killed. In such a weird way. There was a summon watcher for those insignificant amount of units. So Witch King is down, and it trigger, I guess, TrojanEagle with those trolls to move forward and maybe deal some damage with them. But there are pikes already, there are Work Riders. This entire army is near the base of the Isengard, and I don't think so that they will be able to catch them. They will be able to sneak by with those trolls. Also, Felbeast's coming back in order to deal damage, in order to distract Clever, but I think it's already too late. Clever realized the situation. He got the upgraded fortress already, he got the towers expansions, and nothing is going to work here. There are level 5 crossbones, and Screech is not working on them. Trolls dealing no damage at this point. Frozen Rain been used, Darkness been used before, so Frozen Ears, Frozen Rain cancelled the Darkness at the moment. Level 9 for the Wormtongue, this is quite good over here. Nazgul still dealing damage. Those low on health flying beasts got to get away as fast as possible. Another troll is going down. Allure's almost getting level 8, level 9 at the moment, as well as Saruman level 7. So with domination closer and closer is maybe really good. Shark on the battlefield also for the Isengard player. More and more towers, more and more units on the battlefield. Mordor's fortress is going to rebuild itself. He's going for troll cage at least on level 3, I guess, at this point of the game. Those trolls will be killed for sure. Wormtongue and this kind of army will make sure of it. So we're skipping, we're going to Lures, that is leveling up on level 2, level 9. We got industry for the Isengard player, and also more and more furnaces. Also, he's trying to re-establish his base. He's waiting for this Balrog to appear and deal some damage, and then also re-establish himself again. I guess he's getting there for sure. So we got also upgraded pikes, purchase heavy armor. We got Nazgul killed. Oh, he will be killed? No, he's getting away. Wise decision out of Mordor. He realized that his Nazgul is getting into the pike, and he's going to take care of them with flying beasts. There is Wormtongue somewhere, although I cannot find him. Maybe he escaped. He used escape and get away of here. And Mordor and Isengard re-establish himself again. He's going to research fire arrows, so if they will finish before Balrog will be summoned, and I guess it's going to happen, it's going to be huge for the Isengard player. He will be able to buy himself fire arrows wherever he wants, if he only possessed armor on level 1. Felbeast went down, fireball been used. This Shark is doing work, tanking every kind of damage. But he's going down, as he said himself, and he got to escape. Almost level 10 Wormtongue. This is really intense over here. On the middle, some of those Uruk-hais with upgraded armor are moving forward. Lures on level 8 is here as well. Level 9 is here as well. And topside still belongs to the Mordor, but not for long enough. I mean, Felbeast and the Witch King back on the battlefield. Nazgul as well. And I guess they could kill actually Saruman over here, but they don't want to lose the entire top side. So the Witch King and Nazgul decided to move towards those units and deal with them while leaving middle open, but not for long. There is a Balrog summon. Tenderland's been used from both the players, but of course it allows Mordor to get the vision for a time being, and those structures will definitely went down. We'll see if those crossbones on level 3 will went down also, but on level 2, but it doesn't seems like. Another barrack is going down. Isengard is taking the left side, taking the treasures out of the Troller that been under the allegiance of Mordor from time being, and Mordor got only those Felbeast to damage with. He's getting himself attack trolls in order to do so even more, but the Dragon Strike is on the air, and Clever also could reveal that those trolls are going to be made over there and deal some damage towards the structures. Shark was here to deal some damage. We got 17 power points for Mordor at the moment, 16 power points for, almost 16 power points for Mordor, and I guess someone was killed. Yes, he did this kind of damage, the decent amount of damage, so this is why he gets more and more power points. 16 and a half and a quarter at the moment, almost and a half, but it's not enough. It's not enough to destroy Mordor, to destroy the Isengard player. Ignite should be used once again, or Breath of Fire, in order to finish it off with one strike, one finish strike, because time is key. And he wasn't able to utilize the power point. Balrog time ran out, but still, it seems that also those attack throws been killed over there, and that Sharku received level 4 for himself. Really well. Level 10 for the Worm Tongue, and level 9 for Sauron for Lures. This is really good. And also 20 power points for Clever. He got Dragon Strike available for himself. He doesn't have although yet. Oh, he's going to research the blades at the moment, late in the game, but it seems that he doesn't need them. He doesn't need blades because he was fighting with flying units, so armor was moreover necessary. And we got lures with Saruman and Shark over there. Wormtongue is mixed in this army as well, so no heroes could fly over and not being taken care of by those 4 heroes, definitely against those trio, and Sharko as a plus. But there is Gorgoroth's Spire Fireball, and I guess this is going to take care about lots of units, and indeed it does. But still, the remains of army of the Isengard is kind of enough. There is the darkness, but there is already used Frozen Rain to cancel the darkness, and trolls will fall apart. Those orcs will get debuffed completely out of any kind of buff for like 3 minutes mark, and I guess the 3 minutes is everything that Mordor needs, Isengard needs to finish this game. We got counterattack, the last counterattack that actually Mordor can do with Barrage, and it's got to be enough, but I don't think so. We got Barricade over there for the Mordor player, but I don't think so. It's not going to be enough to take down the fortress, but he's trying to do so. Okay, one attack troll is going down. Witch King is trying to deal damage. Is this fortress going to last here? There is Summoned Dragon and Dragon Strike. Isn't going to be it. Fortress from Clever is going down, and it does go down. But it seems that he got almost enough resources to bought back his structure here, while Trojan doesn't have enough resources to bought back his fortress, and if his fortress is not going to stay alive, is going to be defeated. Let's see what's going to happen. Dragon Strike is not dealing damage towards the fortress just because you don't want to kill your own units and heroes. Wormtongue trying to get away at the moment. Screech been used to scare all those units. Saruman low on health. He's going to retreat, Saruman, at the time being. Lures is dealing damage, and yes, Trojan has been defeated. His fortress has been taken down, and all those heroes from Isengard still being alive. And it's all also on the Isengard who has get enough almost resources to bought back his fortress and got all those heroes still alive while doing so. Anyway, really good, really old replay from back from 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoy. Feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.